right, good evening. Everyone could take their seats. Nice turnout tonight. Want to welcome everyone to our February board meeting. And as we always do, I'd like to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Richard Blay, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge of allegiance
To the
to the
flag
flag of the
United
United
States
States
of
of America,
and to the
the
republic
republic
for which it stands,
stands one nation
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Rich. And Mayor Jeremy Smith, would you lead us in a convocation, please?
Real quick, everyone, can we stand real quick? I'm just going to do a quick prayer for us, if that's okay. Thank you, dear Heavenly Father. Thank you for once again an incredible evening in Canyon Lake, Lord. We are truly blessed to be Canyon Lakers, and I just want to thank the board for the hard work and dedication that they continue to give, and staff, of course, Lord. Let them do the right thing for the community, lead by example, Lord, and in your name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jeremy. I'd also like to extend a prayer to the family of Michael Marin. Michael was a cook at the Canyon Lake Country Club, worked for us since he was 17 for about the last 9 years or so. And sadly, he had an illness and passed away very suddenly and fairly newly married. So if we can all please send our thoughts and prayers to his family for comfort at this time. Okay, verification of quorum.
Director Doherty.
Here.
Director Cooney. Here. Director Medved.
Here.
President Van Vliet.
Here.
Hearing for quorum met.
Thank you, Andrea. And is there a motion to approve the minutes of the January meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, first and a second. All in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed?
Hearing for in favor, motion carries.
All right. Moving right along, it's public official comments. Mayor Smith, please come forward.
Good evening, board president, board members, staff. Got a couple updates to give you all real quick. First, we have coffee with the mayor happening tomorrow morning, first of the month, Darcy and I think we have Jeff, Bill, and Laney, I think, joining us as well. So we're excited to have some good conversations, some good dialogue. I truly enjoy this because once a month we get to hear from residents and it's a chance just to give back to the community. So please join us if you can, if you're listening. Couple things, I've reached out to each of you along with our general manager because we have our goal setting that's happening this month in the month of February. The city council is going to meet and give direction to the city manager on things that we need to improve on as a city, but also just things that we can be proactive with. So I want to please get back to me for those of you that have not. If you have anything in mind, top of mind, just a couple bullet points, text me or call one of my colleagues so we can have that conversation so we can make it a goal. We're always trying to improve. I think that's really important, especially the partnership that we have with the POA. A couple updates. Most of you have seen the rhetoric or conversation in regards to the Highway Safety Improvement Program, which is Railroad Canyon. I think it's awesome. It's been phenomenal. We thought the traffic was going to be a lot worse than it is, but we want to give a shout out to American Asphalt Manager. He's actually a resident here in Canyon Lake. And his name is Gordon. Phenomenal job, with those guys, American Asphalt. They just done an incredible job with this whole project. So we should be done. March is the plan. It should have been February, but because of the rains, it got delayed a little bit. And two more items. Cannabis. You guys might have seen the press release that was sent out from City Hall. We changed the process at City Hall when it comes to cannabis and being an applicant. There's only one application that's going to be acceptable, and now it's at the office of the city manager. The city council is not making that decision, nor did we. So I want to give kudos to our city manager for making it that it's on the office of the city manager, not on the council members who's deciding who that applicant is. So please tune in to his newsletter. He'll be giving more information about the applicant and their process and what's happening. And also, if you have not already, please sign up for Alert Canyon Lake. This is an app. We need people to sign up for it so that way you can know when there's accidents, when there's issues, anytime the chief wants to get information out to the residents of Canyon Lake because there's a structure fire, but more importantly, maybe BLM. This is the chance for you to get that text message to your phone, much like the POA does when things happen. This is our way of informing when it comes to public safety issues. With that, if there's any questions from the board, if not.
Any questions for the mayor? Mayor Smith, we are so thankful for your partnership. Really appreciate your leadership. So thankful that you're our mayor again, and we look forward to working with you this year.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
You bet. Take care. Any other public members want to speak? All right. With that, we're going to jump into our member of the month. And since this is February, this member of the month recognition begins with a love story. Todd Stover is a 32-year resident of Canyon Lake. He met Lori shortly after she relocated to Canyon Lake from Colorado 8 years ago. They quickly discovered they had shared interests in hiking and in travel. And what began as a friendship soon grew into a partnership that was filled with adventure. One memorable trip I know they shared with us was they went to Switzerland, where they hiked from inn to inn across the mountains in Switzerland, which looked pretty cool, across the Swiss Alps. Along the way, they fell in love and they were married 2 years ago. Now, Lori and Todd extend their love for one another to our community. This month, we are recognizing them as the POA Members of the Month for their work on the Kindles for Kids program in partnership with the Canyon Lake Library. The program was created to inspire a love of reading among children and teens through reading contests that award Kindles to the winners. What began at the local Canyon Lake, California library is an initiative they've hoped to expand throughout Riverside County and eventually across the state. They also envision growing the program to include a Reading with Rover experience, fostering a positive interaction between children and therapy dogs while encouraging literacy. Lori's lifelong passion for reading was shaped by her years as a third grade teacher, where she delighted in helping students discover the joy found in books. Todd has been an enthusiastic supporter of libraries and reading since his childhood. Beyond their local efforts, Todd continues to support reading programs at the Carnegie Stout Public Library in his hometown of Dubuque, Iowa, as well as Dubuque Trees Forever. Now, in addition to their work at the with the library, Lori and Todd have been active volunteers in the Canyon Lake community. They volunteer with the Canyon Lake Car Club, where Todd served as a membership chairman in recent years. They've also generously contributed to their time and resources to Michelle's Place, the Boys and Girls Club of Temecula, and proudly support the Santa Rosa Plateau Youth Educational Program. Lori and Todd are grateful for every opportunity to give back to the communities that they played such an important role in their lives. And tonight, we thank them and recognize them for their contributions to Canyon Lake. Please join us. These are always the best part of the board meeting, so I like to have them right up front. All right, and we're going to continue the giving the love with our employee of the quarter. Steve, tell us about the employee of the quarter.
Good evening, everybody. Today is one of my favorite kinds of moments because today we give a chance to give pause, look around, and recognize someone who truly makes a difference. Sean Gardner, our campground manager. Sean came to us with campground and property management experience in August of 2020. This transition was not easy for both his family and the POA since we and the rest of the world were dealing with COVID. This award is more than meeting expectations. It is about consistency, dedication, and the kind of attitude that raises the bar for everybody around them. Sean shows up with professionalism, a good work ethic, and good customer service. Sean was a tremendous help in the transition to our new software and helping and guiding the specific needs of Happy Camp. His daily routine, you often find him helping with reservations, pumping gas for boats, refilling propane, selling ice, along with general maintenance and cleaning of the campground. If you have not been to the campground during the holidays, if you've been to the campground on holidays, you've seen the festive decorations, which he takes the initiative on letting his own creations brighten and entertain the many guests and visitors the campground sees. He takes pride in his work, supports his teammates, contributes to a positive and respectful workplace. His efforts don't just help the campground, but also helps the entire CLPOA succeed. Sean and his family live at the campground, and Sean's a family man, and when he has free time, he likes to tinker on cars, and sometimes you can find him enjoying his time driving his demolition derby car. The POA is better because of people like Sean, and we are grateful for the time and energy and the care he brings to his role every day. On behalf of the Canyon Lake Property Association, I thank Sean for what he does, for the example he sets. So please join me in congratulating Sean with Employee of the Quarter Award.
All right. Let's have a community patrol update.
Good evening. I'd like to talk about in December of 2025, we had 67 passes confiscated at the gate by the patrol team. Out of those 67 passes, we had 42 of those confiscated because the driver did not have a driver's license in their possession when trying to enter the community. I would like to take a moment to go ahead and remind everybody that when you're trying to enter the community, you do need to have that driver's license in your possession. Just because you left it at home, wherever home may be, you do need to have that license in your possession every time you go through that gate. Now, as we all know, this Sunday coming up is going to be Super Bowl Sunday. There's a few things I'd like to go and talk about being prepared for Super Bowl Sunday. First one being your gate entry. Everybody already knows that a lot of guests like to come in for Super Bowl Sunday. While there is not going to be any special procedure for that day, we want to take the time to remind everybody to go ahead and plan accordingly for entering the community so that way your guest has enough time to get through. With that being said, they do need to have the driver's license in their possession. There's going to be a lot of people who do not have their driver's license in their possession, calling and asking for an exception to be made just because it's Super Bowl Sunday will not happen. The next thing I'd like to bring up, and this is a common issue we have every year, on Super Bowl Sunday especially, is parking. Everybody has their guests coming over. There's a lot of small streets inside this community. Please be courteous to your neighbor. Do not block their driveway. If you need to block a driveway, please feel free to block your own driveway. And at that point in time, I can promise you we're not going to give you any trouble. The last thing I'd like to bring up is over these last few months, Community Patrol has done a lot more of stop sign enforcement, trying to focus on community safety. On Super Bowl Sunday, we will be doing a lot more of the enforcement at the stop signs within the community, and there will be a lot more patrol officers seen within the community doing traffic stops for running the stop sign. Do not be watching the game on your phone. Please make sure you stop at the stop sign all the way. I'll tell you right now, that first down is not going to change everything that's going on. Ken?
I would have opened with Super Bowl, but it's your speech, and that's all good. Speaking of stop signs, one of my roles is to manage the contract with Allied Universal. I give them direction, and they take care of stuff, and we provide forms of measurement so we know that they are doing what we're asking them to do. Zach and I have a very good relationship. We collaborate just as much as anything else. One of the things we recently collaborated on and discussed was how the officers spend their time on patrol. What is happening during the day, and are they truly doing what they should be doing and having the impact on the community they wanted to? So as an experiment, we decided we're going to, during the majority of the daylight hours, have more of a focus on intersections where there are stop signs to make sure that people are driving safely through the community. No one was more surprised than I to realize they're averaging 15 to 20 stop sign citations during the daylight hours every day. So with that, please find the brake pedal. Please stop, count a second or two, and continue on. For anything else, we got a million kids on e-bikes going through the community, and they're not going to see you stop or not stop. So let's be there for the kids. On that note, the SAC is meeting this Monday, and we're going to talk about finalizing a date for our next bicycle safety fair and bike rodeo. And all those plans are going to be put together. So look out for that in the very near future. We want to do it sometime towards the end of spring, and when the kids are really going to be out there looking forward to summer and whatever new toys they got for the birthday. So thank you very much.
Can you just, do you have any details on how many of those cards that were confiscated were members giving it to other family members versus friends, outside neighbors, et cetera?
I don't have POA card stats. The stats I reported tonight were in regards to the driver's license that for guests only. This was not in regards to.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. But you've also confiscated a lot.
We did confiscate a lot. We actually had a reduction down to 6 in the month of December.
Okay.
I don't have the stats of how many of those were family members. We don't cite if it's a direct household family member who's on the members list.
But you still take them away if it's.
We will confiscate, but we won't cite for that.
Thank you.
And one of the reasons that number went down is because we did have that focused enforcement at the East Gate on Thanksgiving Day, and everybody thought it was a great idea to send them to the store and take my POA card. You can get it quicker.
Yeah.
I'll comment on that later. And then, Ken, going back to the stop sign, just for clarity for everybody listening. So when they come to appeals, just want to, it's kind of like being pregnant, right? You either are, you're not, like the California rule, like it doesn't count.
I'm not saying that. You did not hear me say that. But to your point, yes, it is binary. You either are or are not
Thank you.
stopping. And one of the phrases they use is all four wheels have to come to a full and complete stop. I love that. It's fun because it's ironic, but yes, please stop at stop signs.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Ken, Zach, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Oh, go ahead. Question for them. Come to the podium and hit the red button, please, so everyone on streaming land can hear you.
Thank you. For those who don't know me, it's Rita Benlin. But my question is, I'm sorry. Oh, no, I'm fine. When you come to vacation in the main drag there, what is appropriate? Because in a regular turn, you would get to the far right and turn. Now, I find confusion where some people will stop where the stop sign or the stop sign is at and make a right, but then some get right beside you and make the right. So I'm a little bit confused on what would be a question on what is the appropriate way to turn right. Left is easy.
That is a wonderful question. And it happens all the time. And you are absolutely right. We have an officer who is there and they're supposed to not cross a solid line. You should cross a dotted line. But as we know, people don't necessarily follow that. So both citations are getting, if they don't stop, regardless of what side they are on, they will get a citation.
And that includes the golf carts.
Yes, ma'am. We have written several golf cart stop sign violations. Yes.
Thank you much.
My pleasure.
Right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, we don't have any special announcements tonight. Are there any member comments on non-agenda items?
We do not have any tonight.
None. All right. Well, let's roll right into our order of business. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, items
Motion.
A through C?
Motion.
I have a first. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Hearing four in favor, motion carries.
Thank you. All right. Well, Ken, we sent you back, but we're going to pull you right back up to do item 8.1, 28-day reading.
Thank you, Bill. We are putting a small change to this rule, LM.2.5. Everybody knows they need to register their boat, but not everybody knows they need to put the stickers on the boat. So to clarify that responsibility, we're just adding the text in here that says, please register your boat and put the sticker on your boat next to your CF number. And that's really the only change we're making here. Nothing else is happening. And it'll make it easier for the audit when that happens. So where are my words here? It is recommended that the board of directors approve the 28-day read to revise rule LM 2.2.5 registering requirements as attached.
Thank you, Ken. Do we have a motion to approve the 28-day reading? After the motion, second first.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Great. Any member comments or questions about this item? All right, board comments, questions.
Just a point of clarity for the audience. So I know this seems simplistic, but I think in the effort of maximum clarity, this means that you not only have to register, but you physically have to take your sticker, adhere it to your boat by the deadline.
Yes, ma'am.
Because a lot of the situations that have come up in the past is I bought it, and I can see it. I mean, but it sits on a desk, it goes into the microwave, and it somehow doesn't make its way quite down to the vehicle. So
We were out of town, we were at our other house, all these other things. I mean, all of them come my way, but you're absolutely right. Please put your sticker on your boat as soon as you get it, because there is, to be fair to the community, there's an audit that's done by Marine Patrol, and they spend a lot of time doing this. And for you not to have your sticker on there, there's a bunch of backup paperwork that happens, but they could be doing something else better for the community. So the more we can get this condensed down to a visual, it would be great. Thank you.
Hey, Ken, quick question. Is that audit reported back to the state or the county?
No, this audit is strictly for community Canyon Lake stickers.
Thank you.
Yeah, we will look for the state, but we don't report them to the state. We just tell them, go get your state registration also.
And Ken, also for clarity, the deadline, the sticker has to be on your boat is?
May 1st.
Thank you. Okay. All in favor of approving the 28-day reading, say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed?
Hearing four in favor, motion carries.
Thank you, Ken. I'm actually going to modify the agenda, and I'm going to request that we pull item 8.2, the 28-day reading on roofing material, for us to discuss it further with the ACC. So we will move on to item 8.3. Tiffany.
Good evening. This item is for approval of the Rules and Regulations Review Committee Charter Revision. It was brought to the board last month as a 28-day reading. The committee is requesting an update to remove an alternate position due to the alternate position role no longer being utilized or required. There is no fiscal impact associated with this revision, and staff recommends the board approve the charter update as presented.
Do we have a motion to approve this?
Motion.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Any member comments or questions? Board comments or questions? None. All in favor of approving this rule, this charter revision, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hearing four in favor, motion carries.
Thank you, Tiffany. Why don't you lead us in 8.4 as well?
Okay, this item is an additional revision to the recently approved Sanction Club and Activity Group policy. It's the addition of section 3.4. This addition clarifies what happens if a Sanction Club or activity group dissolves, becomes inactive, or stops operating. If any funds or assets remain, they must be donated to Sanction Club or activity group, community amenity improvement, or community event, program, or activity. So basically the resource or the idea is the resources stay within the community to benefit the community. There is no fiscal impact associated with this change. Staff recommends the board approve the addition of section 3.4 as presented.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any member comments or questions? Board comments or questions?
I think just would like to comment, the intent of this was if the group made its funds inside of Canyon Lake, they should stay inside of Canyon Lake rather than going out to external groups or clubs.
Great, good clarification. All right, all in favor of approving this item 8.4, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hearing four in favor, motion carries.
Perfect. All right, thanks. Is Jose in the house? He is. All right, come on down, Jose. This is a big one. Activity group and club re-sanctioning.
Good evening. The Recreation
evening.
Department would like to recommend that the board approve the Sanction Club Activity Group policy or resanctioning. The Recreation Department would like the board to approve the resanctioning of clubs and activity groups that were recently presented.
Thank you, Jose. Any, is there a motion to approve this?
Motion.
Second.
All right, great. We have 2 seconds. Motion in 2 seconds. Great. Any member comments or questions about any of the activity groups or clubs sanctioning or questions? Board comments or questions? None. I did. Observations. First of all, really good work by activities to go through. This is a pretty big deal. And years, sometimes we used to do this every 3 years, and now we do it annually. The fact that you've coordinated with the clubs, they get all their information in, they've got all the members, they pass all the criteria in terms of what percentage are Canyon Lake members, which ones are not. Good work. I want to say thank you for that. I was surprised. Again, in the past, we've had as many as 60 clubs, I think, and we're down to 23, which is an interesting perspective on, I think, a change in the times. But the ones that we have are very active. They're very good. Some are very vibrant and going well. And so I think it's it's one of the things that makes up the fabric of Canyon Lake that makes us pretty special is the activity groups people can get involved in and do here. And it's what makes us Canyon Lake. So I think good work. I want to say thank you for all the hard work to you and all the clubs who submitted their information. So with that, let's all in favor of approving the activity clubs or groups and club re-sanctioning, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Hearing four in favor, motion carries.
Thank you, Jose. All right, Steve.
So this BAI is for reserve funding of our 4-year pavement engineering services, which is the design of our 4-year pavement plan. So since 2021, the POA has performed a full depth reclamation and reconstruction of 3.1 million square feet and seal coated over 2.7 million square feet of our privately owned roads. GMU Pavement Engineering has been the pavement engineering firm for our previous 3-year projects. These projects have been extremely successful and GMU performed above and beyond our expectations. GMU has submitted their proposal to provide a pavement engineering services for the next 4-year project. They will perform deflection testing, subsurface exploration, core samples, ground penetrating radar, lab testing, and develop plans and specifications for bid package and RFP for a next phase of our multi-year road rehabilitation project. This year's scope of work includes seal coating 400,000 square feet of last year's completed roads and full depth reclamation of another over 300,000 square feet. The seal coat is, if you guys don't know what it is, it's essentially a sunblock for our roads that were done this year, and that part of the work is prudent for the paving management program to keep them in good shape for the many years to come. We estimate that the cost of the 4-year project will range from $2.2 to $2.6 million. The fiscal impact for GMU's work and their engineering service, as described above, is $79,858. It is recommended the Board of Directors approve enter into a contract for the Year 4 paving project engineering services as described in the amount of $79,858 to come from Road Reserves 036700.
Thank you, Steve. Do we have a motion to approve reserve funding?
Motion.
Second.
First and second. Any member comments or questions? Any board comments or questions? I want to make a couple observations. First of all, just for clarity, Steve, year 3, we did kind of the streets on the south side of Canyon Lake, off Continental, kind of that area. Was year 3, correct?
Correct. And then we seal coated the ones on the north side of the lake.
Okay.
Big range area,
What'd you do last year?
Longhorn and all that stuff.
Okay, and so this proposal is going to seal coat those ones that were completed this year.
Correct.
And it's going to redo the ones on the north sides. That'd be Skipjack, Windward, those kind of streets up that way.
Correct.
Off of Canyon Lake Drive North. Okay, just wanted everyone to know if you weren't aware what was happening.
President, I'd also like to add, if you visit our website, you can see the map. If you have questions on your street, you can go underneath our pavement project page on there, and you'll find the maps of kind of the year plan. Now, sometimes, because there's so years out, a couple streets might get shuffled around here and there, but that's the overall plan.
Yeah, thank you. And again, the team has done a spectacular job in the prior years, and I expect we'll continue to do so. So, all right. Since it's a financial item, we're going to do a roll call.
Director Doherty,
Aye.
Director Cooney,
Aye.
Director Medved,
Aye.
President Van Vliet,
Aye.
hearing 4 in favor, motion carries.
Thank you. All right, Steve, and while we're approving funding, let's talk about CIP.
Okay, so this is capital improvement funding for the country club backup generator. It's been requested the POA place a backup generator at the country club. This request is to accommodate the frequent power outages we experienced in the last couple years due to extreme fire hazard weather deemed by Southern California Edison. This backup generator will keep the country club partly operational, allowing the restaurant and kitchen, point of sale systems, refrigerators, and some temperature control to remain in operation. Fiscal impact would be $58,288 for the generator installation. We will have to get a SCAQMD permit, which stands for South Coast Air Quality Management Division. Yep, thank you. Yeah, I got most of it. Sorry about that. I wrote this a week and a half ago, and I totally blanked on that. So and then so that permit's going to be another $900 and a yearly renewal operation cost of $800 and a city permit approximately $2,500. It is recommended the board of directors approve the $61,700 plus a 10% contingency from the CAP fund 056700 for the backup generator at the country club.
Thanks, Steve. I will make the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any member comments or questions? Board comments or questions? I will say this. We eat the country club regularly for breakfast. We've been there many times. When the lights go out, they go out on the street lights, and that happens because that happens to be on a circuit where they have overhead power lines. It seems to happen frequently, and we've lost thousands of dollars in food. It's an inconvenience for the patrons who go there because you can't pay your bill unless you pay in cash, and it's in my mind an absolute necessity. So, I'm glad to see us doing this. All in favor of approving, nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to do a roll call.
Director Doherty,
Aye.
Director Cooney,
Aye.
Director Medved,
Aye.
President Van Vliet,
Aye.
hearing four in favor, motion carries.
Thank you. All right, Steve, why don't you round us off now?
Oh, great. Okay, so this is a committee appointment for the Lake Advocacy Committee chairperson. The Lake Advocacy Committee had lost their chairperson. Don Wilson stepped in to be an interim chairperson. The committee would like to make him a permanent chairperson. It is recommended that the Board of Directors approve the appointment of Don Wilson to the Lake Advocacy Committee chairperson position.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any member comments, questions? Board members?
So, yeah, I've been working with Don since he took on the kind of the interim LAC committee chairperson role. And he's been doing a really great job. He's proven that he can keep us on point, follows up on the details. And so, yeah, I wholeheartedly support his nomination.
All in favor of approving Don as the chairperson for the Lake Advocacy Committee, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hearing four in favor, motion carries.
Thank you, Steve. All right, time for board liaison committee reports. Greg, why don't you lead us off?
Recreation Committee is meeting for the first time this year, a week from tonight. And we have two projects to talk about. The committee has not been made aware of what these projects are yet, so I'm going to withhold announcing those. But they're real nice little projects that would help improve the community. The other thing about the Recreation Committee is we're pivoting a little bit in concert with Tiffany's recreations group to get more involved in working with them in planning community events. And ideas are being kicked around right now about what those events may be, and we're going to talk about those next week. But things like hosting gaming nights, the polar bear swim, which used to occur here at Canyon Lake in the past few years, has not been happening for whatever reason. Maybe a teen center and some activities there, and some Explorer programs in concert with the city's police department and fire department. So the committee, like I said, is going to pivot more into community activities as opposed to just projects, which I think is a really good thing. That's it. Thank you.
Lainey?
Thanks. First with the equestrian work group. They're working conjointly with the garden club on planning beautification projects to include planting not only flowers, but ground cover. I think certainly it will be prettier, but more, perhaps equally, if not more importantly, will help with erosion and maintaining the dust levels. It is a big center and it generates a lot of dust. They're also busy building their social media presence and building relationships with other clubs, borrowing on the experience of the more mature, the more tenured groups. And I'm also the liaison for the rules, as you folks know. They're continuing their work with the restructuring of the rule format to separate the rules from SOPs and reviewing outdated terminologies. We've had a few laughs over the last couple of meetings. Who knew that there was a 5.5-inch rule on shorts? But there was. And confusing terms to ensure the ease of both understanding and compliance by residents. They're also working, which I'm really impressed with, working conjointly with other committees that address the other committees' questions and concerns regarding rules, and then really, engaging in a conversation to make recommendations. That's it for me.
Thanks, Lainey. I'm the liaison to the Green Committee, who didn't meet in January, will meet in February, and the Tuesday Work Group. And the Tuesday Work Group, for those of you who aren't aware, they put in hundreds of hours every month to help maintain our golf course. They are also very interested in working with the Equestrian Work Group and supporting them with their skills, which I think is fantastic. Love to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
We also all sit on the ACC, appreciate all the hard work that the ACC does. And then I'm on the Senior Work Group as well. And it's they're kind of planning time now, the new year and setting up their activities. They do have a monthly potluck the last Sunday of every month, and there will be a sponsored potluck in March. More news to come on that. One thing I will just add is for all of our committees, like our clubs, the board appreciates all of the hard work and volunteer time that they put into it. Bill?
Excuse me, I'm liaison for the Finance Committee. And you may not know it, I think I mentioned it last month. This is a busy time because we're preparing the budget for next fiscal year. The Finance Committee has made some recommendations to the board. I want to remind everyone, February 17th, 6 p.m., please put that in your calendar. That's the finance work session where you can interact with the board in a question and answer style session, talk about next year's budget. I highly recommend that you join that process. Lake Advocacy Committee, we were dark in December. We're spinning back up now. We've released a series of articles, compliments to Tiffany and the social media people and the way they released the articles, and they put there's recordings of them if you want to listen to them. They're broken up in sizable chunks. And look forward to more content from us and more collaboration with some of the clubs.
Thank you, Bill. Eric, please give us the general manager's report.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. Probably too dark to notice when you walked in, but our lodge artificial turf project is completed. It looks amazing. We've had a lot of issues over the last couple of years with mud after having like water slides and things, and really difficult for us to keep it looking in good shape. And we do host weddings there, so we want it to look its best all the time. And so the obvious solution was artificial turf. It looks really great. We should get a lot of use out of that and better serve all our clubs and events for the next 10 or 15 years. Some questions have been raised about, will we still be able to park cars on it? The answer is yes. Same as we do on the artificial turf on the island out here. So it'll be better for the car show than it has been. Also questions about, is it going to be hot on your feet? And all the artificial turf that we install in Canyon Lake is installed with cooling infill designed to reduce the surface temperature. Same process that's used at schools and universities and public parks all over the country. So it's installed in the most professional manner possible to provide the coolest installation possible. So really nice improvement to kind of the final piece of the puzzle out here at the lodge. So we're proud to have that behind us. Operations is working on the Eastport motorcycle parking structure and rebuilding the current dry rotted parking structure. That should be starting February 17th. And operations is also working on gates and intercom entrances at Black Horse and Sorrel, currently getting bids from engineering firms. So we can complete engineered drawings to submit to the city and to EVMWD. We're doing that project now because what's been discussed for at least 10 years by the Estates Committee and requested by the people on those streets and those committees. We took the opportunity to move forward on that this year because we reconstructed those two streets. So we were able to install conduit under the street for future intercoms and gate operators prior to doing the new street work, so we don't have to dig up brand new streets later. And we were also able to pothole and physically locate where EVMWD's sewer and water lines are, which will allow us to draw the existing locations of those utilities in the plans that we submit to those two entities and get that approved. So the timing just hit right. Like let's not do this later and destroy two brand new streets. So we're moving forward with that project. And we had tentatively planned in our 5-year plan to redo our lodge marina rental docks. And the current plan, modified a little bit, that I told the board about today, is that we're going to probably invest $35,000-$40,000 into the current docks and get another 5 or 10 years out of them instead of spending $1 million replacing them. So that'll help our 5-year plan budget. And that's all. Oh, the only other thing I have is Marshall Tucker Band later this month is completely sold out. It's a very big name band for us to bring to our little room here, and proud to be able to bring that level of entertainment to Canyon Lake, and absolutely sold out. So if I can manage to get in, I'll see you there.
Thank you, Eric. All right, let's finish up with board comments.
Well, I went to buy tickets and there was one left. So.
Yeah, that is. Bill, lead us off with your closing comments.
So I go back to the survey that we took, 18 months ago with our members. And the overall guidance was keep things running well, but don't spend a lot of money. And I can tell you that based on all the budget conversations we've had, all the research the finance committee has done, along with Susan Daewoo, our financial director and controller, we're living true to the word. So we're doing the best we can to keep things as is and moving forward.
Lainey.
I have a couple. The first goes back to the conversation about the stop signs. Like it was being a little cheeky, but it really is true that it does take a full stop. And so there's a lot of time spent with the volunteer committee. If you have any questions, go check the video out ahead of coming to appeals. But it is a very all or nothing rule. And it's a big focus right now, especially given, as everybody said, the amount of activities coming through the community on these holidays, on these special events and Super Bowl, as well as just being a super active community. My second is about the roads. We spend a tremendous amount of money making sure that the paving and the asphalt and everything is done, the work of the operations committee on top of the expense. So, don't be the person who goes around the barricades and drives on you're not making friends. Your neighbors don't like you. And it's really expensive because you decided that, you really needed to have buffalo wings at 4:00 in the afternoon. So plan ahead, plan accordingly, understand that, yes, emergencies come up, but the situations we've reviewed are far from it. And it's really frustrating. It's disappointing to every other neighbor on the street when the street looks beautiful until you take your car and you run down and you back it up 2 or 3 times. So they do a great job of letting you know when it's happening, how long it's going to happen. There's a million ways to get that information if you don't already have it directly supplied. So please be respectful. And if it's your turn, plan ahead and accommodate, in whatever ways you have to. I think I had one more, but I'll pass for right now.
I have no comments tonight. Thank you.
He's giving his time to you, Lainey.
Thank you. And couldn't read my own scribble. And the other one is when I was asking about the cards, because I think, people at home listening to this, I understand it. I totally get it. We talk about this, you're in the house and your sister's visiting from wherever, and you're like, just go to the market and, get it, and you hand the card over. It's one of those things. I don't think in better than 95% is it intended to circumvent the system or in any way to be disruptive. It's a common thing, but it is a rule and it is enforced. So I guess you're going to have to go get the milk or the 6-pack or whatever, or the person has to wait in line. So I know it's frustrating, but I just call them in. There's not an exception for giving it to a family member. So I think I'm trying to get that out as just a reminder, because I think most of this is genuinely innocent mistakes.
Thanks, Lainey. From time to time, we get love letters to the board, being February. And we have received, I'm being facetious here, but we do receive letters of concern from members. We do appreciate that everyone sends us those letters of concern so we can address them appropriately. And we have received a number of letters of concern recently about people's boats and their pontoons, and they're seeing, are these little creatures that are on my pontoons, or is it corroding, or what's going on with that? And I want everyone to know that we are addressing it, but it's incomplete right now. We don't know. We've gotten some information from experts, but because of the concerns that the community is raising, Eric and the POA are have asked for additional testing to go on with our water, but also with just do some experiments to see what could possibly be causing these kinds of occurrences, because it isn't consistent. It's not consistent on every boat. It's not consistent in every cove. It depends. There's just a lot of variables. There's a lot of agencies involved. We're talking with experts from GEI, with a company that applied the algicide. They're talking with Lejoie. We're talking with a water district. And there's a whole bunch of people and experts involved. And we've got many of the best scientists involved. So we are learning more. And when we have more information, we will inform you. I just want you to know that you've been heard. And we are taking steps to get more information. As soon as we know more and know more definitively, we absolutely will communicate that to the people. I want to piggyback on Bill's comment. If you never appreciate those of you who are here tonight and those of you who are watching, but for all of your friends who don't come to these board meetings, if there's one board meeting that you should attend, it is the one in 2 weeks on February 17th. It is Mardi Gras, so bring your beads, bring whatever else. And it is the one meeting a year we'll talk about the budget. Why is that? Because this is the one meeting that affects your what are your dues? What are the fees? This is an opportunity for you to, in most board meetings, we can't have a dialogue on things, but in this workshop, we can. So if you want to ask questions about the budget and what's going into it and what if and so on and so forth, that's the one to have it. So please spread the word, February 17th, budget workshop, same place, same time. I want to remind the other big event of the year for those of you who may have a loved one. It's don't forget Valentine's Day as well, coming up on February 14th. If you haven't got your Valentine yet, go get one. And I do want to congratulate Todd and Lori Stover for their recognition tonight, but also thank them for their hard work. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, everyone. Good night, Canyon Lake.